This is Christopher Tripp, once again coming to you from my home in beautiful Costa Rica, and it's yet again another beautiful day. I wanted to get video number 2 in for the vlog before I went on my daily bike ride here, so I'm really happy to get the second video up. I think more importantly, or the most important thing is just to do it, get it up there. I think we'll be having some fun here in the near future with some guests, maybe. But what I really want to do is I try to write down a topic at some point in the week and talk on it. Not really scripted or anything like that. Just conversate. Whatever comes naturally, and it'll be great to have someone else involved. There are a lot of interesting people here for sure. You have to be somewhat interesting, I think, to take off and leave maybe to a different country. And I mean, I'm not just saying expats, but some awesome people altogether. But yeah, I look forward to some guests here in the near future, just for some conversations on these topics. But this topic, well, last topic, we talked about simplicity and drilling down on one of the most simple levels, or learn how to appreciate the simple things, and to elaborate a little more. For me, it was, and a lot of people's getting caught in the endless cycle of more and more, when that may not be the genuine happiness, and there'll be a never-ending cycle in that. This topic I wrote down has to do with something I see a lot, and actually it may touch on a popular subject in the States now, or anywhere, but I hear a lot of talk about it in the States, and that's bullying. And you have bullying, and that may be more noticeable on a more adolescent level, but we have something, as you get older, like cliques, and shoot, I think we've all seen that. I don't know, I for one just kind of felt uncomfortable with the cliques, even at a young age in high school, and it prompted me to graduate a little early, just to get out there away from it and see the world. But to go even further and dissect that, and with judgment, I think there's a lot of judgment passed around. People just, all of a sudden, I don't like them, or and they don't really know why. I mean, I've seen it out of jealousy. Someone may be further ahead, and someone may not be as comfortable in their own skin, or have insecurities to the point to where they project that jealousy there, or or hatred. You hear the word haters. Not everyone's a hater. I do see a lot of people when they get this, they get high and mighty when they're doing something that is great, and they're following their own path, but they consider everyone a hater that's against it, and a lot of it is constructive criticism. But I found one quote that really drew me to the topic, and that is, "I am whatever you think I am until you get to know me." And that's what I wanted to talk about. You don't really know someone unless you get to know them. You can draw your own conclusions and assume, but that takes me to another popular quote by Wayne Dwyer, in that when you judge another, you do not define them, you define yourself, because you don't know them, and you're really saying more about you than you are them. So it's really easy to judge, but it's amazing how much better you might feel in asking that person a question, making a friend, getting to know them, because you have no idea what happened to them that day, let alone their life. Um, you know, they could have found out that a loved one is on heroin, or a loved one passed away, and even if you know them or do not know them, and you just assume and criticize, it's really better to just ask a question, and be there in that moment with them, to ask them what's going on or what has been going on, and you never know what you might find. Um, I know personally, and I always try to, touch on something personal that I can relate to. I remember moving to. I'm from South Carolina and Myrtle Beach, and I was born in West Virginia, and I would go there every summer, and that's where my grandparents lived, and I was still am very close. My grandfather passed away in 2006. This is the ring that he made me, and I've worn it since I was about 15 years old. But so I'm not married, but I ended up moving there when I was about 15 or 16, and I was the kid from the beach. The beach. And man, I made a lot of great friends and still have to this day. But I noticed what happened a lot is a lot of guys wanted to fight me because the crowd I was with, I was a sophomore and they were seniors that becoming my friends, but really just did not like me without knowing me. And the cool part was that every time I got to know someone, and by whatever means it might have been like a party, and any time we got to come to a point where we had some time alone and got to talk, they would always say, "Man, I thought you were just stuck up punk, kid, but you're pretty cool." And that really proved a point way back then, and I've had that for me personally, just from perceptions, I guess, of whether it's looks or whatever, just that I am this one way, and people don't know me, and it's good to once you get to know someone, to really learn who they are. A lot of people wouldn't know that one of my favorite topics now in the thing, quantum physics. I'm probably more stimulated watching a documentary on quantum physics than I am taking shots or partying, at least at this point in time. But it'll amaze you what you get to know when you ask questions. People, and you may have a lot in common, and definitely would make a new friend. But just keep your mind open. I think it's good to have. You need to have love for everyone, and compassion, because not knowing what they have been through, having an open mind and an open heart, you can, you're not really going to make enemies. Not saying that it won't happen. Not saying that there aren't people that you shouldn't maybe commit your time to, but more than likely you're gonna meet a good person and a new friend that you may share a lot in common with, have a lot of common ground. And just to touch on another subject, your sphere of influence will really make you. And what I've been learning or hearing, like quantum mechanics, is because you hear that, and to me it has always seemed logical. Who you hang out with is going to have an impact on you, just going to rub off. But they say just the energies that people give off around you without even speaking so much will have that effect on you. So I thought that was interesting. But by getting to know someone and not having that preconceived notion of them, you could bring someone else into that positive sphere of influence, which I think ultimately has a huge part in molding your life. So it's good to be aware of who you spend your time with and commit your time with. If you commit your time with people on the same frame of mind, going where you want to go, I think it's inevitably going to rub off and really help you or put you in that direction. And conversely, if you spend time with people that aren't in that frame of mind and go in the opposite direction, it's going to rub off. So we make that decision. So yeah, get to know someone, don't judge, and that was really the topic I wanted to touch on today. So if you have any situations, maybe recently or in your life, maybe just fresh on the mind or profound that you remember, then please share them. And that's what this is all about. It's awesome what we can do these days. I can set up an iPad in front of me and reach out to people around the world and share and converse. But if you have methods and ways and that you use to keep open, or maybe something that touched you at one point that helped you remain open and keep that frame of mind there and keep an open heart and just a vessel for love, however you want to phrase it, then how did that come about? How do you continue to maintain that? What do you practice? Love to hear. I mean, it's what it's all about. So hopefully this struck a chord with someone and we can share. Please comment and look forward to the next video here. And have a great remainder of the day and, of course, remainder of the week. Take care.